Hello everyone, today I'm here with the story Whitewashing the Fence. Okay, let's start. Let's begin with author of the story. Mark Twain is author of the story. He was an American writer, humorist, publisher and lecturer. He was born on 30 November 1835, Florida in United States and died in 21st April 1910 reading in United States. Let's start the story. Saturday morning came. The summer world was full of life. There was a song in every heart and cheerfulness on every face. The trees were in bloom and the fragrance of the blossom filtered the air. The hill beyond the village was covered with green vegetation and it lay just far enough away to seem a wonderland of joy. Tom appeared on the pavement with a bucket of whitewash and a brush. He looked at the fence, and at the uninspiring sight, all gladness left him. He had to whitewash 30 yards of broad fence, 9 feet high. Life to him seemed meaningless. He began to think of the fun he had planned for the day, and his sorrows multiplied. Soon the free boys would come and ridicule him for having the work. He thought of an excellent idea. He took up his brush and went calmly to work. Ben Rogers came into view presently. He was the very boy of all boys whose ridicule he had been reading. Ben was eating an apple and seemed to be in high spirits. Tom went on whitewashing and paid no attention to him. Ben stared at him for a moment and then said, "You are in trouble, aren't you?" There was no answer. Tom surveyed his last touch with the eye of an artist, gave his brush another gentle sweep, and inspected the result as before. Ben went up and stood by the side of Tom. Tom's mouth watered for the apple, but he stuck to his work. Ben said, "Hello, you have got to work, hey." Tom turned round suddenly and said, "Oh, it's you, Ben. I did not notice." "I'm going swimming, Tom," said Ben. "Don't you wish you could come? But of course, you prefer to work, don't you?" Tom looked at him for a while and said, "What do you call work? Why, isn't that work?" Tom resumed his whitewashing and answered carelessly, "Well, perhaps it is and it isn't. But it suits Tom, sir." "Do you mean to say, Tom, that you like it?" The brush continued to move. "Like it?" said Tom. "Well, I don't see why I should not like it. Does a boy get a chance to whitewash a fence every day?" That put the thing in a new light. Ben stopped eating apple. Tom swept his brush back and forth softly like an artist. Then he stepped back to note the effect. He added a touch here and there and criticized the effect again. Ben watched every movement and got more and more interested. Presently he said, "Tom, let me whitewash a little." Tom was about to consent, but he changed his mind. "No, no. You see, Aunt Polly is very particular about this fence. It must be done very carefully. I don't suppose there is one boy in 1,000, maybe 2,000, who can do it the right way." "Is that so? Let me just try, only just a little. I would let you if you were me." Tom. Ben, I would like to, honestly, but Aunt Polly would not like it. Jim wanted to do it, but she wouldn't let him. Sid wanted to do it, and she wouldn't let Sid. You see, this is the front fence, and Aunt Polly is very particular about it. Now, don't you see how I am caught? If you were to try whitewashing this fence and anything went wrong, oh Tom, I will be very careful. Now let me try. I'll give you half of my apple. Well, no, Ben, I can't let you. I'm afraid. I'll give you all of it. Tom gave up the brush, pretending to do so half-heartedly. And while Ben worked and sweated in the sun, the retired artist sat on a barrel, swinging his legs, eating his apple, and laying plots to take in other boys. Boys came along every little while. They came to laugh, but remained to whitewash. By the time Ben was tired out, Tom had promised the next chance to Billy Fisher for the kite, and when Billy retired, Johnny Miller brought the next chance for a dead rat and string to swing it with. Thus the work went on. Hour after hour, by the middle of the afternoon, Tom was rolling in wealth. He had, in addition to the things mentioned above, 12 marbles, a piece of blue bottle glass to look through, a key that wouldn't unlock anything, a piece of chalk, a tin soldier, 6 firecrackers, a little cat with only one eye, a dog collar, the handle of a kite, and a number of other things. While others bore his burden, for him he had a nice idle time all the while and plenty of company, and Tom whitewashing a fence. Fence had 3 coats of whitewash on it. It was just magnificent. If he had not run out of whitewash, he would have robbed every boy in the village of his proudest possession. Tom said to himself that life was beautiful after all. He had discovered a great law of human action without knowing it, namely, that in order to make a man or boy desire a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to obtain. Tom was happy with the possessions that had come into his hands, and then got up and walked home to report to Aunt Polly. "It's all done, Aunt, the whole fence," he said to her. Her is mentioned as Aunt Polly here. Okay? "Tom, I hate your lies," said Aunt Polly, and marched out to see for herself. "Oh, Tom," she said in surprise, when she saw the fence, "you can work when you want to, only you hardly ever want to." She took him home, and gave him best apple she had, and allowed him to go and play. The end. Hope you understood the story. So please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.